Greetings, my king.
Come, Saranga. King Himabindu has sent an invitation to honor you.
Why would the king, who has always longed for the throne of Vijayanagar, extend an invitation to honor him? This thought was bothering Saranga. Saranga was well aware of Himabindu's intentions, and that's why he wanted that when he goes to meet the king, along with the soldiers, there should be some people in his entourage who are clever and intelligent. Saranga went to search for such people in disguise.
Catch them! Catch them! Catch them! Catch them! Get all of them! Catch
Let's go and find them. Did they go inside?
Chungi, they have come.
It's not the thieves inside, but
The clever and intelligent individual Saranga was looking for, he found them in the form of Chungi and Mungi. Saranga included them in his entourage. At this time, King Himabindu's camp was near the borders of Vijayanagar. Any attempt by him to conquer Vijayanagar couldn't withstand Saranga's cleverness.
None of our politics or strategies to conquer Vijayanagar worked due to Saranga.
A few moments more, my king. Saranga has accepted our invitation. We will offer him such a deal that he won't be able to refuse.
Come, Saranga, you're welcome.
Greetings, my king. Please accept these gifts from the talented citizens of our kingdom, king.
Wow, amazing. We also want to honor you, Saranga. Come on inside. Come, Saranga, come. This is your gift.
My king? What is this?
I declare you the king of Vijayanagar.
No, my king. Forgive me, but I am not the rightful owner of the crown, but King Raja Vidyadhar.
The king offered Saranga all kinds of tempting gifts to bring him to his side.
Take this, Saranga.
No, my king.
Bring him more.
Despite seeing so much of wealth, Saranga did not agree to betray his king. In anger, the king ordered his soldiers.
Put him behind bars.
Seeing the condition of their minister, everyone understood that they were in big trouble. Now, there was only one way to escape.
I've heard that the queen has a passion for collecting beautiful shawls. If we make her happy by presenting her with a shawl, we might request to spare the minister in return.
Great! Then we should immediately gift her a shawl and save our minister.
But there is no shawl left. The one we had has been gifted to the king.
While the discussion was going on, Chungi Mungi went to do their work.
The sound was coming from here only. Let's see there.
Everything happened as per the plan. The shawl went from Chungi Mungi to Manu's hands and then to the queen's.
Wow, I have never seen such a soft and beautiful shawl before. I am very happy. Tell me, what is its price?
Manu asked for his minister's freedom in exchange of the shawl.
What? Okay, as you wish.
At night, after the king had relished a delicious meal cooked by the queen, then
What am I saying? Please let him go.
Let's talk tomorrow.
Listen to me. Just leave him.
All right, as you say.
Release Minister Saranga respectfully early in the morning.
What?
This is the king's order.
Okay.
but there was another problem here. They had to leave the place before morning because early in the morning the secret would be revealed that the shawl they used to release Saranga was the one gifted to the king. In such difficult times, Mungi came up with a solution. He turned the night into a day.
The morning came quite early today.
Not just the soldiers, but also King Himabindu woke up with the sound of the rooster.
It's already morning and the rooster has crowed as well. Now release the minister.
All right, all right.
Who? Soldiers! Who released the minister?
My king, it was your order to release him early in the morning.
But it's not yet morning. Catch them!
I saw them running in this direction. Where did they go?
Search for them quickly. Don't let them escape. Huh?
Run quickly, the king has arrived.
Catch them! Now this laughter of yours is of no use, Saranga.
Look around you, my king. You are at the borders of Vijayanagar. Think before you do anything. I can arrest you for trespassing across the borders.
And thus, Saranga and Chungi Mungi together foiled Himabindu's plan.
Chiru, listen to me, dear. Huh? Chiru! Chiru!
I'm coming, Grandma.
This boy.
What happened, Grandma?
In what thoughts were you lost?
Grandma, everyone gets lost while reading Amma's stories. And I'm no exception.
Sometimes you want to read Amma's story, sometimes want to hear them from her. At least listen to me once in a while.
I already listened to you, Grandma. You asked for water. Here is the water.
Not water, Chiru. Medicine. Ratna has a headache. You sit here. I'll go get medicine for her.
No, Amma. You sit here. I'll quickly go on my bicycle and get the medicine.
All right.
Come quickly and don't forget, take this money.
Chiru doesn't forget anything, Grandma. I will go quickly and come back quickly. In the meantime, you take rest.
I don't understand where this boy is lost all the time.
What an aroma! Jalebi? If I go from here without eating jalebi now, the jalebi will feel bad. Uncle, please give me some hot jalebis.
Look, Chiru is eating jalebi alone. Chiru, what are you doing here?
I have come to the sweet shop to buy vegetables. Can't you see? I'm eating sweets.
Chiru brother, treat us too, no?
Yes, why not? Come here. Eat as much as you want.
Someone asked me to. I'm salivating seeing the jalebi. Thank you.
Uncle, here is the money.
Wow, Chiru, these jalebis are as sweet as Amma stories.
Oh no! Amma, how did I forget? Medicine? But the money has already been spent. I'll get scolded again.
Huh? What happened?
Chiru, carelessness is not a good thing. I was right here. That's why I went to get medicine for Ratna.
Sorry, Amma. Sorry, Grandma. I won't do such a thing again in the future.
What happened, Chiru? Why did you rush so quickly? What's happened? I had given him a task and he forgot it too.
Don't worry, Ratna. Chiru has realized his mistake now.
Chiru brother, come and play with us.
No. I want to watch TV.
Who hits the ball so fast?
Noni! Chiru! Where did everyone go? Chiru, clothes are drying on the roof. Go and bring them in. It's going to rain.
Don't you worry, Amma. When I'm here.
Don't forget.
Yes, Amma. I'm going right away.
Huh? Oh no. All the clothes are wet. This Chiru, I tell you. Chiru? I asked you to bring the clothes from the rooftop.
When? Sorry, Amma. I forgot.
Amma, his name should be Mr. Forgetful, not Chiru.
Wow. It's a beautiful sunny day. Hey, Chiru, where are Noni and Babu?
They have gone to see Grandma.
All right. Okay, listen. Mangoes are drying outside for pickles. Take care of them. In the meantime, I'll also go and meet Ratna.
What happened, Gopi? Give me 1 minute. The game is about to finish now. This Gopi can't stay quiet for a minute. Oh no! Go from here.
Oh, that's why I was calling. But you were busy playing video games.
Go from here.
Now, answer Amma for this yourself. Careless Chiru.
Chiru, what is this carelessness?
I don't understand when this boy will mend his ways.
Sorry, Amma.
Apologizing doesn't mean you keep making mistakes repeatedly and keep saying sorry.
And your apologies won't bring the mangoes back. I suggest that instead of saying sorry repeatedly, you get yourself a sorry card and keep distributing it to everyone.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yay! I won!
Amma.
Huh? What happened? Why are you shouting? Whom did you trouble now?
Amma, I have to go for a picnic from school tomorrow. It has been decided that everyone will bring homemade food from their homes.
Wow.
Just saying wow won't be enough, Amma. You will have to make sambar for me. Because I have promised to bring the best sambar in the world.
Is it? All right.
Wow! If the aroma is so good, imagine how delicious it will taste.
Chiru, the sambar will be ready in a while. I've added everything. In a few minutes, you add 5 teaspoons of salt to it. Huh? Until then, I'll go to the temple.
Okay, Amma. I will play until then. Huh? Where did Gopi go? Gopi! Wait! Stop!
Chiru! Chiru! Where is Chiru? I'm sure he will forget to add salt to the sambar. I'll add it myself. 1, 2.
Wow! There is no match for the sambar made by Amma. Forgetful Chiru will definitely forget to add salt to it. But I don't want to eat sambar without salt. I'll add it myself. 1, 2.
Catch me, Babu.
Wait, Gopi. I'm tired.
What happened, Babu? Are you tired?
Gopi makes me run so much, I will get tired obviously. I'll go drink some water. Wow, the aroma of the sambar is so good. In the excitement of playing, Chiru Bhaiya will definitely forget to add salt. Just like everything else. I'll add it myself. 1, 2.
Take it! Crispy, crunchy, salted snacks.
Salted snacks? Something is coming to mind with salted. But what? Salted.
Salted biscuits. Salted tomato.
No. Don't confuse me.
Salted chips.
What am I forgetting? Salted. Yes, I remembered.
But what did you remember? Tell us too.
I won't tell, I will show you by doing it. 4 and 5. After eating Amma's sambar, everyone will forget their own food at the picnic.
Chiru, I hope you've added salt to the sambar.
Yes, Amma, 5 teaspoons. You'll see. After eating this at the picnic tomorrow, everyone will be licking their fingers.
And the next day... What happened, Chiru? Why are you crying?
Because of the sambar. Because of your sambar, everyone made a lot of fun of me at the picnic.
What do you mean?
I mean, there was so much salt in the sambar that everyone said it doesn't taste like sambar but seawater.
It really tastes like seawater. So much salt.
But how is that possible? How much salt did you add?
5 teaspoons. Huh?
Huh? 5 means 20 teaspoons.
Oh no. With so much salt in the sambar, obviously it'll taste like seawater.
But why did you all add the salt? I was supposed to do it.
Because of your carelessness, Chiru. No one trusted that you would remember to add salt.
I understood, Amma. Now I will never be careless. Because of my carelessness, the sambar got ruined and the whole day as well.
Oh, no problem. After all, you realized your mistake. I'll make the sambar again.
But the sambar won't be enough, Amma. Poor Chiru's entire day has been ruined. So we must make his day better.
Yes, definitely.
Yay! Amma says she'll make the day better, which means story time with Sudhamma.
The 4 seasons, day and night were 6 brothers. Day and night had already divided their time. But once there was a debate among all the seasons about who is better. Then Agnidev, the fire god, said,
I am the eldest. If I cease to exist, there will be no harvest and people will die due to hunger.
Now it was Sheetdev, the winter god's turn.
No, brother. The harvest happens just because of the winter.
Indradev, the rain god, couldn't see this, so he showcased his power to them.
Brother, the harvest happens because of my rainfall.
Even the youngest, Vayudev, the wind god, was not one to stay behind.
Brother, when I move, clouds gather, then it rains. And after that, there is harvest.
Who else could determine which season is better besides the people? That's why all four gods came to Vijayanagar.
The weather is so good during the summer, Manish, honey.
Did you hear that? The people of Vijayanagar love me so much.
How does it matter if only one person says this?
That's true, Ranga. Mangoes flourish during the summer, and I make good profit due to this.
The decision has been made, leaving the people of Vijayanagar under the protection of Agnidev. The rest of the brothers went away from there.
Oh, it's so hot, Manish, honey. It seems like it's raining fire.
Oh no! All my mangoes have dried up and fallen down. This summer has caused me a lot of loss.
Oh, it's so hot. Somebody give me some water. Is this summer or some calamity? When will it end?
Oh, this heat burnt my cotton. Oh God, save us from this heat. Give us rain.
People don't want you, brother. They want me. And I have to listen to their prayers.
And then Indradev brought the rain.
It's raining? Well, at least we got some relief from this heat, Manish, honey.
Oh no! This erratic rain won't even let me sculpt properly.
Anything in excess is not good, even if it is rain.
Oh God, what kind of test you are taking, Manish, honey?
The winter is better than this. At least I can sell my cotton.
You're right. I also get plenty of clothes for washing. Lots of them. When will winter come?
Brother, the people of Vijayanagar don't want you. They want me.
And then Sheetdev relieved the people by spreading his cold waves throughout Vijayanagar.
The season of winter has arrived, Manish, honey. I was eagerly waiting for this. People often get hungry during winter and my grain sells.
Chiroji uncle, please make this quilt quickly.
It will take some time because the untimely winter has come quite suddenly.
At least it is better than the scorching heat and relentless rain.
Did you hear that?
Is this water or ice? It's so cold.
What kind of quilt is this? It doesn't provide any warmth at all.
How can a quilt fight this cold when even the fire isn't working against it?
Why do you open the shop every day and wait for the customers? The cold has made everyone sick. Will people eat the doctor's medicine or your grain?
Oh no, Manish, honey! All these seasons will ruin my business!
This winter has even made me sick. How can I make medicine for so many people? Come back tomorrow.
The weather is so cold and there is no medicine. Oh God, save us!
So Sheepdev also understood that he was not welcome there. Now it was the turn of the youngest, Vayudev.
Do you see now, brother? The people of Vijayanagar don't want you all anymore. Now it's my turn.
Ah, it's so breezy here. What a pleasant weather today. It will be fun washing the clothes. Oh. Huh? Huh? Oh no! My clothes! Stop! My clothes! Huh? My clothes! Ah! Oh! Oh!
Oh, what a disaster! Oh, my trees! Them!
Oh no, Manish, honey! My grains! My shop! Hey, Mohan, where are you going alone? Wait, I'm also coming with you!
Even with the arrival of Vayudev, the people of Vijayanagar were not happy. They wanted to get rid of this problem very quickly.
Guruji, now only you can suggest a solution. This has never happened before. The weather has been erratic for the past few days.
Even I had a huge loss, Guruji.
Well, it seems like the gods of the seasons are fighting amongst themselves.
Being gods, they should think about it. We are bearing the loss due to their fight.
Let me tell you one thing. Fights always happen to prove a point. If they understand that it's not about being better than each other, but about being together for the welfare of the people, then this fight will end.
All the gods realized their mistake after hearing Guruji's words. It is also true that the joy of rain comes after the heat of summer. Similarly, summer is refreshing after the winter. The wind provides relief in the summer. In the rainy season, clouds spread due to the wind, distributing uniform rain everywhere. After that, the mood of the weather never changed. So, children, what did you learn from this story?
Amma, thankfully the weather doesn't act according to its own will. Otherwise, what would have happened to us?
Then we wouldn't be able to enjoy the weather.
Absolutely right. In Vijayanagar, the washerman Keshav used to live with his donkey, Munna.
Huh? Hey, what happened? Why are you shouting so much? What happened? Why didn't you say? I wish you could speak. Keep it all.
Munna wasn't just Keshav's donkey. He was also his family and friend.
Munna, I wish you are not a donkey, but a human like me. I could have talked to you the whole day.
One day, while Keshav was passing by Udhanka's house, he heard,
I turned you into a human from a donkey and you are arguing with me? Get out! Money is honey.
Udanka was scolding his servant Beenu, but Keshav interpreted it differently.
What? He really turned a donkey into a human? Come, let's go.
And then, without giving it a thought, he also reached Udanka's house.
Udanka, where are you, my friend? Yes, what do you want? You are such a great man, Udanka. I just came to know about this. What did I do? Money is honey. This is your greatness. Even after performing miracles, you act innocent. My Munna, just turn my Munna into a human too. But how can I? Don't deny it. I have seen it with my own eyes. You turned your donkey into a human and you were even talking to him. In return for this, I will give you money.
At first, Udanka couldn't believe his ears. But then he started working.
I have also fired my servant. This healthy donkey can be very useful to me. All right, I'll turn him into a human, but it will take some time. Make him a good person like me, Udanka. I'm leaving now. Do whatever Udanka says. Wow! I got a donkey to work for me for free and even got paid.
Keshav donkey was intelligent, and as Keshav had instructed, he followed Udanka's every command. Keshav's donkey quickly learned the task assigned to him.
Here are your things. Now give me my money. Let's go. Money. There is a lot of work today. I can't go with you, Munna. You have to take this grain to the market. Here comes my lion. Wow. You are really intelligent. But your owner, Keshav, was an absolute fool. First of all, I'll ask Munna, how does it feel to be a human? No. Why should I bring up old memories? Who likes to be a donkey anyways?
Who are you talking to alone, Keshav? I haven't even seen your donkey for a month.
What? 1 month?
Yes.
What? It's been a month since my Munna has been with Udanka. Udanka! Where are you?
Udanka understood that Keshav has come to take back his Munna. But with his donkey doing so much work, he wondered how he could give Munna back.
Where is my Munna? Didn't you find him in the market? He sets up a shawl shop these days. What? Did he open his shop as well? Yes, he has turned out to be an intelligent man. He sets up the stall near the pawn shop.
So Keshav set off to meet his Munna.
Take this, take that! Colorful shawls with floral patterns. Take it, take it! Take it, take it!
Wow, Munna, wow. You have changed so much.
Huh? Who Munna and who's Munna? My name's Dinu.
Dinu? You have changed both your work and your name. Come, leave this and pick up these.
Keshav was not ready to believe that this was not his Munna, but Dinu.
Why are you following me?
Munna, listen to me. Oh no. Where is my Munna? Munna! Munna! Where is my Munna? Where my Munna has gone? Munna? Yes. Found you.
Leave me! Leave me! Leave me!
Where are you going, Munna?
When everyone heard Keshav's story, they couldn't stop laughing.
Keshav, Udanka has fooled you. This is Dinu, who used to work for Udanka. Can a donkey ever become a human like this?
When Keshav realized that Udanka had fooled him, he became very angry.
Udanka! Udanka! I won't spare you. I asked you to turn my Munna into a human, and you turned me into a donkey with your words. No.
Listen to me. Oh no, save me.
Oh, my weighing machine will be damaged. Money is honey. If I catch you, I'll teach you a lesson.
If you like this video, subscribe to our channel Murthy Media.